the stars and on my knees now. I'm getting alive. I don't stop and look around. Everything is perfect now. And last night our hearts were dropped, our time has arrived. Last night our hearts were dropped, our time has arrived. Stars and on my knees now. I'm getting alive. I don't stop and look around. Everything is perfect now. And last night our hearts were dropped, our time has arrived. Last night our hearts were dropped, our time has arrived.
I feel the night by my side, put me in for a ride. Terrifying embers burn us so soft and tender. I feel the night by my side, put me in for a ride. The city is a savior, she'll hold you till you're braver. Vision of you. smile as we fade into the sapphire sky. Never lost right by your side. I can be your satellite.
Oh, I don't have the music
Okay.
on this one. Oh well, that's all right.
We're live.
Yeah, we are live. We're good. What's up, guys? Just a friendly reminder to everybody watching this either on YouTube or Twitch during the live stream here. We'll probably take down the stream and have an edited version of this video up later. But again, during this, there are you feel free to ask questions. We'll answer the questions at the end of the podcast, just to give you some acknowledgement and everything. And yeah,
Just a common statement too. We do this for the podcast forwarding. The stream is secondary, and so we'll try to keep it interactive. If you guys do have questions, we do try to get to you. So
absolutely. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's run the intro. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me as always is Wild Twins fan. Wildy, happy new year, man. How the hell are
Yep.
you? Happy season 6. Got a big year planned for us, man. Got a huge year. Hope you guys are going to be down for the ride with us. But happy new year. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Happy New Year Day. Yeah, no complaints. Life's going pretty well. New Year's was good. Christmas was good. Yeah, no complaints. I'm just ready to hop back in, get some podcast up for everyone, and shoot the shit a little bit. So it's been a little while. I know you've been awful busy yourself. So
Yeah, it's been nuts, but I'm super stoked to get back into the podcast. I'm super stoked to get back just into content creation in general, both not just for the podcast, but for, my personal YouTube channel and everything. But as I was alluding to a minute ago, we got a lot of big things planned for the podcast this year. My wife is actually going to start joining us in some capacity on the podcast, not necessarily the podcast, but content around the podcast. We're going to start a new series on our YouTube channel where we review movies and TV shows that have been adapted from video games, which I think is super cool. I think it's going to be super cool for the audience, and I hope everybody enjoys it, and I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing those videos as much as I'm looking forward to creating them. So what do we got? Go ahead.
go ahead.
So Waldy, what do we got going on this week?
This week we just got a couple topics. We're going to talk a little bit about the Twitch meta, exiting 23, coming into 24 now. A little bit about that. Also talk a little bit about the state of PUBG as a big PUBG fan. Talk a little bit about that. A couple banter items talking about new OLED monitor, 480 hertz refresh rate. We also have a little bit of update on NVIDIA's new cards coming, and Apple Vision Pro has a final date, so a little follow up there. So, just we're gonna keep it light. Gonna try to podcast a little more concise, a little bit shorter this season, and just to make them a little more digestible for anyone. But let us know if you like the new format or what do you think about it. So, let's drop in and look a little bit about the Twitch meta after 2024. So Twitch had some policies change your day and I wasn't really following it until I opened up Twitch the one day, and I was like, "My, what am I looking at here?" And yeah, it was a little bit shocking. So you want to take that?
Yeah, it's turned into a like a poor man's OnlyFans, pretty much. Um, Twitch has recently come out with some evolving policies around sexual content and implied nudity, and they just banned implied nudity in response to the meta of creators using censor bars or carefully positioning their cameras to imply nudity. And this shows that Twitch is still struggling to find that right balance on policies around sexual content. While do you think Twitch's policies strike the balance currently?
Uh, I think they're struggling to find. Um, Twitch is still trying to be family friendly and not too adult, and I think they're struggling with trying to find that line there of letting people be creative and do stuff, and people bending the rules to do whatever they want to try to make money. And there's some awful revealing stuff that I've seen, and I know they've pulled back a little bit on some of that stuff, but it was pretty wild that there was very little left to people's imaginations on quite a few streams there. So, um, you
It
know,
was
I don't know.
Yeah, it was really crazy. It was they came out one day with some updated policies around, sexual content or artistic nudity, if you will. And then there was a bunch of I guess there was a bunch of streams that came out of, AI art around sexually explicit material and stuff like that. And then it was like, what was it, 2 or 3 days later, they walked back that policy. So I think they are still trying to find that right balance. And to be honest, it for me it almost feels like the platform is no longer a gaming platform, which in essence is fine, but it takes away what the core purpose of Twitch was at the end of the day when it was Justin TV. It was a
Uh,
way for people to share their gaming experiences, things like that. Um, but there are a ton of challenges that Twitch does have to face in creating these policies because people want to be able to express their artistic visions. And we've seen all throughout history that human sexuality is can be very autistic. Artistic, not autistic, but very artistic. At the end of the day, I mean, there's 2,000-year-old statues. I mean, you think of the statue of David, who's it's a
yeah,
nude dude, right? You think of all of these old Greek and Roman statues that are based around human sexuality and nudity and finding beauty in the body, but that's just not where we are today. And absolutely 100%, they're absolutely correct. There is no age restriction to sign up for Twitch. My 6-year-old son, my 9-year-old son could log into Twitch, and the first thing that they see when they open that homepage is 30 chicks with a black bar going across their boobs, and that's the only thing that they're wearing. And I don't think Twitch per se is the right platform. Like, save that for OnlyFans. Save that for platforms that do have some sort of age restriction, so that you're not even dealing with these issues that Twitch is dealing with currently.
yeah. I don't know what the fine line is there. I don't necessarily condone that content, but I don't condemn it either. But Twitch has to find out and really figure out what their path forward is. And a little bit we talked about, with them opening up, you know, the the multi-stream options to other platforms. Um, that what Twitch really doesn't want is the next big star, the next big streamer to be on their platform than Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sex sells, and that's kind of the unfortunate end of things. The internet probably wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for porn and such. I mean, seriously. So they just have to figure out their side. Um, and streamers are they're gonna game the system. So
Yeah,
it'll be
go ahead.
it'll just be interesting to see how it plays out. And they're gonna have to stay on top of it. They shown that that they're quick to adapt to it and kind of make changes and stuff, and people are using it. So
I think
and quite frankly, it's sad for the real creators out there that might be carving the statue of David. But
yeah. I think the other problem that many people on the platform are having is Twitch, and this has been something consistent for a long time, is their inconsistent enforcement around their bans when it comes to this stuff. There was a streamer, he goes by the handle of Boogie2988. He was just unbanned after 3 days of clearly violating policies by actually being nude on stream. But this caused confusion and complaints from others who remain banned. So it's Twitch's inconsistency of handling the certain situations and the different situations that really pisses a lot of people off at the end of the day. And this guy, yes, maybe he was naked, but there was enough evidence to show that he didn't show anything that was too explicit. I mean, put some context around this. This guy was a big guy, right? He, when you think about these metas, you don't think about guys like us. We're not models that are gonna be walking down the runway anytime soon with six packs and toned bodies and tan and handsome and all that. And this guy was pretty much just like you and me, rocking a beard, very similar to like what I rock or when you rock, whenever you have it out, just a little bit more. He had gone through a major weight loss and he had a lot of extra skin, and he thought he would try to game the system and let that extra skin be his quote unquote censor bar. And somebody called him out on it because they thought they caught a glimpse of a scrot below the stomach flap and whatnot. And he after the ban, he went straight to social media and was bashing Twitch and was like, no, it's just a different color skin. It's another flap of skin under my stomach that's a different color. That wasn't scrot. And
I mean, obviously he was trying to get the reaction. He got his reaction. That's just going to be the game that they're going to play for a while.
But there is a bunch of pushback around the censor bar meta. Streamers they're really pushing the boundaries with that censor bar meta to imply nudity without actually showing it, and it is super controversial. Twitch is still trying to clamp down on it. I mean, I haven't seen these streams, but I've seen like articles around these streams, like Amaranth. We bring her up when it comes to any of these metas, whether it's like the hot tub meta or the ASMR ear licking meta. And, we all know she's got a very successful OnlyFans. But, I've seen clips of not clips, but like images from her stream where she's doing the censor bar meta. And really, if you log on to Twitch and you don't have any preferences set and you go to that home screen, the top 7 or 8 streams you're going to see is going to be those streams. And, my 9-year-old has already expressed interest in streaming to Twitch, playing, Minecraft or, flavor of the game that he wants to play that particular day. And I can't let him get on that platform responsibly as a parent, knowing that as soon as he creates his account and as soon as he logs in, that's what he's going to see. And he's not old enough to see that kind of content yet. And there's nothing there barring him from actually going to see it. Like, oh, you get a message that's like, oh, this stream's for mature audience 18 and over. Well, I have that set on my stream just because I cuss, right? Or we talk about certain materials. So the artistic nudity policy, like I said, has already been reversed. Twitch briefly allowed the artistic nudity before reversing course due to AI generated explicit imagery. So I mean, do you think they're ever going to come to a happy medium on this?
I think every time they come to a rule change, everyone's going to put the rules. It's just until they can set a site up that people underage can't see content, or unless they can filter the content, I just don't think it's going to happen. And I
Yeah.
don't think they're ever going to go to a full-on adult website, which that's really what these people are trying to do. And yeah, I'm pretty now. Click on my OnlyFans and see the Stacy pictures. So I don't think that's going to be the right fit for Twitch. But we'll see. It might be what they have to do to make money. So I don't know
Yeah.
how
Well,
motivated are they to make money.
we'll
That's the
see
other
when
question.
we'll see when advertisers start dropping off because they don't want to be associated with that. But anyways, entering 2024, we got an I'm gonna say it's an awesome new map on PUBG. I really like Rondo. I like the play dynamics. Yes, is it giant? It's fucking huge. It's an 8x8. It's an 8x8 map, but it has a unique. It's really unique in the fact that you have like a desert area in the top, then you have a more foresty wooded area. It's no surprise. It's an Asian themed map. I guess it's mainly Chinese based is what the names of the cities sound like, but it's got like destructible tree. They've added destructible bamboo elements. They've got like escalators, which is kind of new. They've added stun guns, which is fun to piss your teammates off with. Like they're sitting there looting, and you're like, which can cause some arguments that I've already gotten into with a few guys on the server.
Yeah.
They've done some map rotation changes. They've implemented a new map rotation strategy with both map select and random map options, so you can kind of customize your wait time, if you will. If you're trying to play just on Rondo, your wait times are going to be higher.
Yep.
One thing that's really cool, Wild, that I think like for the community that we're a part of, they have the new clan training mode, which I think is cool because we have a lot of competitive guys on our server. So, what do you think about that? I think it adds a more social and they're adding more social features to engage with the community.
I haven't got to play with that one yet, so I'm not really fully sure. But I like the option. We've always toyed around with the idea of it'd be nice if someone on our server actually had a sandbox that we could go in and kind of do stuff a little bit more so, and just together. And because sometimes you want to, you'd have a community night and you do customs and stuff like that, and they're fun. They can be a little bit daunting to set up sometimes too. So, but the rewards usually there. It's usually have a really good night and a lot of fun. And then kind of the other parts of Rondo that I like now is the new SMG, the JS9.
So broken.
Pretty good. I don't know if I'd say it's so broken, but it's hard for me to keep it or to use it because I have such a hard time A, finding it, and then B, finding 9L to go with it. So it's okay. I don't think it's super amazing. I don't think it's I know the stats are pretty good, but and I think it will get nerfed.
All I'm saying is if I can throw a 6x on an SMG and go full auto and completely control the recoil to where the bullet spacing is super tight, it's pretty broken. Like you can hit somebody with that thing from like a mile away. Now, it does hit like a pea shooter. You blow through ammo like there's no tomorrow, but it's still the fact of, okay, I personally roll with like a 4x on it, and I'm sitting there lasering people at like 150 meters with it and knocking people, and I can't even do that with like an M4 or an AK or anything because the recoil pattern is so different. This thing has like virtually no recoil, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more overpowered guns I think they've added, except for the Dragunov pre patch was insane. So
it was a 2-hit kill, right? Like even right now, a one shot to the head.
One hit.
One shot to the head right now if you're within like 200 meters is an instant knock, which for a semi-auto a semi-auto DMR is nuts. Like you can't do that with any other DMR. That's the only one that you can do it with.
Yeah.
So Wild, what aspect of Rondo excites you the most?
I think just overall the map design's pretty good. There's some really high peaks where people can get up on and shoot at you, and it's not a great play generally speaking, but it's an interesting play. The revive meta has been working good.
Mm-hmm.
Still some maps that don't have the revive on them, and I think that's a mistake. I think there should at least be like the blue chip transmitters that people could pick up, in every map, and you know, because again, I think I keep the playership higher, and I think people get too disgusted of playing the game and dying early and then not being able to play. So um, I'm okay with the revive system, and the current system works pretty good. I feel it out of the box is pretty good balance in that. But overall, it's a beautiful map, and it's been fun to play on.
So do you prefer the blue chip method over the gulag method, like that's on Vikendi and uh
Tago,
Tego and
yeah.
stuff? And then I mean I 100% agree with you because I there's times where I enjoy playing Sandhawk, but there's no revive functionality on Sandhawk, and I think that's the only map that there is no way to get a teammate
Paramo.
back. Oh, and
No,
Paramo.
no Paramo, no probably Kirikin, I don't think either.
Yeah, Karrakin at the time.
So, but yeah, I don't like the Gulag. I think the Gulag could be good, but I don't think and we talked about this when it first came up. Do they have the balls to make the change, to make it right? And I don't think they've done that yet. I like the multi-stage Gulag. Vikendi probably the best. Because the other one is just on Tago is a camp and hide fest. No one wants
Mm-hmm.
to shoot at anyone, generally speaking, and if you kill somebody, it doesn't put you back into the game. So a little bit different, but I'd still like to see Vikendi's timelines. Like it starts fast, I
Yeah.
think. It needs just 2-3 minutes longer into the match before it starts, and then maybe there should be a late game gulag or something like.
That's fair.
If you stuck around the last or maybe it's a random event like COD has jailbreaks,
Yeah, jailbreaks.
and all of a sudden anyone still in the game gets to come back. So I think they could do
That's a
something
good
more
call.
like that.
That's a good call, Wildy.
It would be interesting. I also tough. It's tough if you have a blue chip transmitter. It's tough that you come back with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Especially
think
late game.
that late game. It's like, do what? Should you even call someone back late game?
You're just a
Because
distraction at that point.
Yeah. So I don't know. I almost think they need to have maybe a pistol or an SMG or
And level one
something
gear or
maybe.
something.
Yeah, or something you need a little bit of chance to play the game because you're just cannon fodder otherwise. So otherwise, I think the state of PUBG is pretty good right now. Replayable. It's priced right if you haven't played it. It's free.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking good, feeling good. Looking to see what they come out with this year.
So, guys, take your stream to the next level with professional overlays from Nerd or Die. As proud affiliates, we highly recommend their eye-catching and customizable designs to make you stand out. With animated templates, alerts, panels, and logos, you can achieve a polished, high-quality look that wows viewers. Easily customize colors, add your branding, and include the info you want. Nerd or Die makes it simple to create an overlay exactly how you envision. So treat you and your community to an engaging stream centered around a slick, modern overlay. Level up the quality and energy with just a few clicks thanks to Nerd or Die. Just visit agamingmoment.com/nerdordie today. So what are you waiting for?
And if you guys notice our overlay, guess where that came from? Just take a wild guess.
A Wild Twins
Nerd or
fan
Die?
guess?
Yeah, Nerd or Die. It's a nice
And-
little website done.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of
absolutely.
people that do, but they're a great source. So
And to be honest, they have a bunch of free resources there too. They have Twitch panels that you can, free Twitch panels that you can create. They have some free stream overlays there, so you don't necessarily have to go there and buy anything. But if you do, it helps us out, helps the podcast out, and we really appreciate that.
yeah, for sure. All right, let's drop into the banter. We're gonna try to keep banter shorter this season. And Day, you found a new OLED monitor.
Yeah, so LG is coming out with a 1440p monitor at a refresh rate of 480 hertz. Who the hell is gaming at 500 frames per second? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, what games even go 500 frames?
Rainbow Six does. If you got a big card and fast computer. I know Cisco probably does. F1 2022, 23, whatever, probably does. There's not a lot of games. I don't think Valorant gets up there. You know, Valorant's not. You don't see Valorant and CS:GO in very many benchmarks. It's kind of weird. Certainly not COD. Yeah, there's not a lot of
Like, you don't need
not a
it.
lot of
It's it's
I don't
it's
know.
it's uh, it's big dick energy at that point, man. Like, I have the capability to get up to 500 frames, but I'm not going to be able to
Well,
because the game's limited, right? And it's
I
a nice 27-inch long 27-inch wide monitor. Like, it's actually a really decent monitor. I'd be and sub zero point 0.1 millisecond response time, which is really really cool.
is that 1440 or is it 1080?
It's 1440
Okay, yep, nice.
with a
Yeah, I
point
know
zero yeah 0.03 response.
my laptop's got the 360 hertz screen. Yours
Yeah,
does
me
too.
too.
It's
Me
like
too.
I don't know if my 3070 can push that anything. You know, between that and the processor, I don't know if I can even get that. I'll have to see if I can do it. One of these, just see if I can do it. But
Well, speaking of
speaking of which,
3070s, wild, yeah. Speaking of 3070s,
Nvidia's new supercards dropped today as we're recording the podcast here. We got a new RTX 4080, a 4070 Ti, and a 4070. So those will all be superfied now. So uh, no more 4080s, 4070s, or 4070 Ti's are being shipped. Right now, everything is going to be shipping is going to be a super version of those cards. The old cards are basically just continued now. Um, there's no right way to make the pricing work on those cards and keep them in the spin. But surprisingly, the 4080 Super, which is a step up from the 4080, got a bit of a price cut.
mm.
I mean, not that it's not still really high at $99.99, you know, a grand. But that's down from the $1,200 that the 4080 went for.
Yeah, I was noticing that the pricing for these were actually palpable at the end of the day. Like, the 4070 is going for $600, the 4070 Ti is going for $800, and
They're
then
really high, but yeah, I don't. At least they didn't go up, and they actually trimmed down a little bit. So this is a decent win for gamers, I think.
yeah, absolutely. And then in the VR world, wild, the Apple Vision Pro launches February 2nd across
Yep. So
all Apple locations. So
that's
that's
kind
really
of
cool.
that's kind of a surprise because it's been we've known about it officially now for you know 6 to 8 months, and that now that they just finally say the release date, I'm kind of surprised. But it'll be like a game changer. It'll be interesting to see. I did pick up a Quest 3 now since we last chatted, or I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but maybe I have. But I picked up a Quest 3, and one of the things that the Quest 3 does is the augmented reality, or the and so it'd be interesting that the Apple probably play a lot into that, as far as apps and things you can do. So I'm kind of excited to have the Apple headset drop, and no real competitors at the moment. Although Pico says they're coming after Apple now, so we'll see. But either way, having a big player in the game is definitely going to be good for the VR, AR, metaverse.
Yeah, but man, that price tag, that $3,500 price tag.
Ooh,
But
that's
I mean, it's cool. I think one thing that really sets them apart and where they're really trying to target like business users at the end of the day for this is they have optical inserts by Zeiss, where you can have like readers installed or have readers that are like $99 or optical prescription inserts for $150. So that way you don't have to worry about wearing your glasses while wearing the headset. It'll already kind of be built in. But I don't see this per se much for gaming. Like I see it more for industrial use, like drilling and like maybe Sims, but like on a professional level, not so much at a gaming level. Just that price tag is just nuts. But then again, anything Apple creates, the price tag is nuts. They could have a bottle of water and charge you $1,000 for it.
I think there's some things to like um like flight simulation
Mm-hmm.
and racing simulation, some of that stuff that could be great for the headset, the immersion. Um, one of the things that I've been joking about is I wanted to watch the Taylor Swift era's movie in VR because you can watch it in VR like you're standing there watching the movie apparently, and I don't know, not like I'm a big Taylor Swift fan per se, but
I was about to ask
it
you,
just sounds
Swifty.
like it just sounds like a really good experience. I mean, I do like Taylor. How can you not like Taylor Swift? I mean, she's a sweetheart and she puts out good music. Maybe it's not your jam that you know, I don't necessarily wake up to, Taylor Swift and motivate me for the morning, but respect her for who she is and the content she creates, and ultimately she's a content creator. So, uh, you know, yeah.
So guys, So, guys, don't miss out on all the fun. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to join in on the conversation and catch a sneak peek of our latest episodes before they hit all major podcasting platforms. Plus, stay in the loop when we're streaming the podcast so you can be the first to tune in. Trust us, you won't want to miss a minute of the action. So, Waldy, you found this Instagram post. We're gonna share it. We'll have a link to it in the episode description, as well as the as a link in the YouTube description. But Razer has come out with a haptic gaming cushion. Like we're getting there. We're getting to the Ready Player One status slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as silly as this thing kind of seems, I do think this has a really good potential to be really great for some things. And for me,
Racing.
my holy grail of all things has always been tactile transducers. You know, tactile transducers.
Yeah.
It's a little speaker that you put on, like a lot of people put them on couches and stuff, so you can feel the shaking. So it gives you the actual physical movement that you hear the sub, you might hear the bass, you might even feel some of that. But a transducer's job is to transmit that vibration to you. And I follow a flight sim group on Facebook, and I can't count the number of people that went on there and said they just got a butt kicker. And a butt kicker is it's basically a tactile transducer that bolts to your feet or your chair, and you put some sound into it, and it will give you the feel of that vibration and stuff. And you think about an aircraft, you're feeling quite a bit of vibration there, generally speaking. I think this has a really good market for um, for a lot of things,
For Sims,
and
a lot of
if the
Sims.
yeah, like I've been dying to do a tactile transducer, and two for like racing sims. So you put like one on each corner of the sim, so you can feel like your front right tire was hitting like the curb or whatever, and you could feel, or you could feel the back end getting lighter a little bit. Like there's some pretty good technology out there to do a lot of that stuff. So you could maybe play with doing that with this one, seat cushion that Razor's come up with. So it'll be interesting. I'm kind of interested in this. I'm kind of excited to see this one come out and actually make it. And I think that was a pretty neat Instagram post that I wanted to share. And um, haptics are pretty cool. I've seen people with VR doing the haptic vest and stuff, and that's pretty cool. But one guy wants to know if he's gonna be able to feel when he gets shut back. So it'd be kind of funny.
So we got a few questions for the week, mainly for the audience, because I think we've kind of answered these questions, but we can kind of build onto these a little bit more. What feature or location on PUBG's new Rondo map are you most excited about? Is it the destructible bamboos, the escalators? I know for me, it's pregame lobby and shooting off the fireworks at the little fireworks stands that they have. Like that was a neat little ad there. I like it.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, for me, I just like a new map. I just like
overall.
So I love it. Yeah. So nothing game changing there.
And then for you guys, which Twitch meta controversy has caught your attention the most recently? Is it the censor bar trend or the brief artistic? I don't know why I keep wanting to say autistic. I don't know why it's on the brain. But anyway, the brief artistic nudity policy. Let's try that again. Which Twitch meta controversy caught your attention the most recently? The censor bar trend or the brief artistic nudity policy? Or is there something that we're missing that we haven't talked about on the podcast yet? Let us know. And then also something very, very exciting that's yearly here. We're going to be covering CES 2024 reveals on the next episode. What gaming hardware or tech announcement would you want to most see come out of the event? Is it an NVIDIA 50 series GPU? Is it too early for that?
Well, we know that's not coming because they've already dropped it. So
yeah. Or is it a new VR headset? Or, is it a new processor that we don't know about yet? Is it Intel's latest graphics card that they're going to have to compete with AMD and NVIDIA? I would love to see. I'm excited to see what's going to come out of CES. I know me personally, I'm going to try to live tweet it for us for the channel. So be sure to make sure you're subscribed to all of our social media channels. I'm super stoked to be getting into that next week. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This week, we dove into the evolving world of Twitch's policies and guidelines as they try to find the right balance around sexual content. They've debated whether the new suggestive streaming metas go too far. We also explored how PUBG continues to innovate the Battle Royale gameplay with additions to their 2024 Rondo map update. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you want to take your support to the next level, visit agm.cx and head on over to our Patreon page to help us keep the podcast going strong. Also, show off your love for a gaming moment by checking out our timeless classic merch. Thanks again for listening in. And until next time, guys, keep grinding.